a cock 45 with a Ruger AR556 MPR, a multiple purpose rifle. And I have multiple purposes for it. Let's put a round in a chamber and start letting it serve its purpose by shooting some steel over there. Oh yeah. Nice, let's go that left one. Go the right one. I knew that was off. I knew the first one was off because when I pulled the trigger, the little red dot was over to the right of it. Pretty smart, huh? How about a 2-liter? There you go, Kentucky. Oh, I just wetted down the pot. Ah, a little pot smoking on a cold winter's day. Oh, man. Speaking of that, while we're smoking pot, let's smoke a bunch more right here. Let's smoke that paper. Nice, nice. Oh, a bowling pin. That bowling pin is about chewed up. Doesn't take long to shoot about 30 rounds, does it? That's one of the beauties and the fun aspects of an AR-15. It is just light recoiling, pleasant. And speaking of gun rights, it's nice to be able to have a firearm like this and enjoy it. And I have several. Many of you have several AR-15s. There's millions and millions of them in people's hands out there. And we just enjoy the heck out of them. People hunt with them, mostly target shooting and just enjoyment of them, just like I do. Very, very much fun to shoot. Again, that low recoil, if you're a new shooter, you know, we have thousands come in new every day. And if you're just not that familiar with AR-15s, the reason there's a little bit of an obsession with them, you might think, it might appear to you to be an obsession, is they're just so much fun. There's not many rifles that anybody can pick up and not have to worry about recoil. You can adjust the stock to whatever length of pull you need. They're not going to kick hard. They're accurate. You can put a variety of different sights on them, and they're just a lot of fun to shoot. Now this one specifically is very soft shooter. It has an 18-inch barrel, whereas a lot of the newer ones have a 16-inch barrel. This has an 18, and it has a full-length gas system. And so you can see the gas line going all the way out to here. So that makes for, I'm not an expert on all this, I'm not an expert on anything, but it does lend to having a softer shooting rifle, okay, with a longer gas system, mid-length, even a mid-length gas system. This has a full-length rifle system on it, and it really is a soft shooter. It is nice. You got your muzzle brake out there, and it's all Ruger for the most part. I think they even make the muzzle brake. I think even the hand guard, unless someone else makes it for them, but they've got their name on it too. And they use all the 75, 76, T6, whatever, aircraft aluminum, all the usual on this firearm. And it's got the Magpul furniture, which is a nice stock, a nice solid one. I think that's one of their newer ones. And the grip feels good. Got your, you know, all the stuff you want on an AR, okay? That most people want. It looks like what they did was, this thing sells for around, I don't know what the MSRP, around $800-900 something. It sells for like around $700, okay? Maybe under that, just depends. And that's more than some of the really low end, of course, ARs. You can get an AR these days, you know, for a pretty nice one for $500, right? Well, this was just a little bit more than that, but it's they put together a package, I think, that is going to probably attract some people who are going for those $1,000, $1,200, $1,400 AR-15s. When I feel this one and shoot it, it's a lot like my Daniel Defense. I tell you, that slim handguard, and as smooth as it operates and fired, and it has a trigger. It has that Ruger, it's the Elite 452, I think they call it, the Elite trigger. And it's a nice trigger. It comes with that, okay? So good furniture and just everything makes it a really nice shooting AR-15. You're not compromising, you're not sacrificing. It looks to me like, I mean, I'm not selling these things, but it looks to me like this is one where there's not a lot of compromise, whereas if you do pay $400 or $500 for one, maybe you got something on there you don't necessarily want, or you don't have a nice trigger, or you still got the big sight post up here, and you'd rather have flat rail, Picatinny rail to put other things on there yourself. So this looks like a good decision to me on Ruger's part. So you be the judge. You be the judge. Been shooting it for, I don't know, a week off and on, and it's fun to shoot. I was telling John before we started here, if I hadn't, and I'm not going to compare it, and we're going to get into Daniel Defense versus this and all that kind of thing, because many of you know more about the ARs and the construction and the different things, different kinds of steel than I do. But one of the things that attracted me to the more expensive, the Daniel Defense, was the slim handguard, the good feel of it, the good trigger, and all those kinds of things. And boy, you have that same feel. It weighs 6.8 pounds, and so it's not all that heavy. It feels fine. Just a nice trigger. In fact, I want to shoot some more. I've got that was some 223, and I've got some 556 here, American Eagle, in these magazines. So I thought I'd shoot some 556 out of it, and a little variety. Not a lot of difference. 556 is a little warmer, for those who don't know. Okay. Most AR-15s, well, probably all AR-15s, and most firearms chambered in 223 these days, you can fire 556 or 223, but you need to check and make sure. I know the old Ruger Mini 14s, I think some of those were just for 223 because you had less pressure than you do with 556. Basically the same cartridge around and everything, but it's just more pressure is one of the biggest differences. And but most modern firearms now, you can use 556 or 223. Just need to check to make sure. All right. There's I think a water jug on that barrel over there, or an ice jug or something. Yeah, still frozen a little bit, I think. Oh, we had a hang up. First hang up we've had. Everybody see that? Let me lock it back. Dig that out. Not sure what that was about. I believe I did have the magazine in. I didn't release it too soon or anything, I don't believe. Find that around. Yeah, it took a little bit of a beating. Okay, didn't get hit. The main thing I want to look at, make sure there's a bullet in the case, so we know it's not in the chamber. Okay, or in the barrel. Wasn't anything like a squib or anything. All right, reality TV here. Let's try again. All right, I think we about emptied that of ice or whatever. Let's go back to red plate. Back. That's right, that middle one. Ooh, looks good. The little one on the right. It's hard. What about this barrel here? This is the toughest shot all day. Pretty good trigger. Pretty good trigger. So, okay, so whatever. Fairly new. Might need some breaking in. I don't know. and Magpul magazines usually work pretty well. That's a what, a Gen 2, I guess, but yeah, usually work well. Then yeah, that's a Gen 3 right there, I think, mag. Okay, so what happens is what happens. Oh, I didn't point out that now the Romeo 5 red dot does not come with it. Okay, make that clear. It comes with no sights, as most ARs do. So you put your own sights on. That's one of the advantages of having the flat top. All right, so you can put whatever you want to. Get some inexpensive M-bus, pop-up sights on there, whatever you want. A red dot, big 3-9 scope, or just whatever suits your fancy. Okay, so we got some more 556 here. Got a Gen 3 magazine from Magpul. They usually work really well. All right, so I don't know if we'll shoot all these or not. We might get it all the way in. Oh, okay. We still have a 2-liter or two. Let's just pop that thing. Did I get that put on safe? Yeah, I've got that all the way out, all the way back. Well, I like that trigger. You just breathe on it. It's got a nice release. I'm gonna try that little plate over there again. Feels mighty good. What about that big old hanging tank? I could actually hear it hitting it. I don't know if you all could. And this poor little pigeon needs another hole in it. I'm sorry. I know that wasn't nice. That wasn't nice. Now you're wondering, am I going to shoot this watermelon? Well, stop wondering. You might wonder where we got a watermelon in middle of January. Well, I've got connections. The agricultural department, Tennessee. Boy is a soft shooter. I'm gonna shoot. I just want to shoot. Well, I've got that sight right on. Let's try this barrel again. Get my ears in tight. Feels good. Really work that trigger. Yeah, that full-length gas system, and of course it is direct impingement, versus a gas system. Most of you would know that from looking at it. I didn't take the bolt out. I'll show you that. Now that I've got it really hot, brilliant, huh? I usually take that out early on, but it is a sweet, soft shooter. I have to say. I think it's got the M4 feed ramp and all that stuff. Well, I don't know about that ammo, that one hang up, what that might have been due to. That magazine, or the ammo, I just don't know, light round or something. New gun, operator error. I don't think it was operator error. Operator idiocy, maybe. But it feels really, really good. And again, that's the first we fired it. There were several days off and on, not having any issues, and that was the first one. I guess I got it lubed enough. I didn't over lube it, I know that, like I usually do. I like to lube these things. Oh, you know what? That's loosening up on me. Good thing we're finished shooting. Man. Yeah, I got to tighten that thing up. Well, I'll be taking it off before I send it back, so it doesn't matter. But always make sure your sight is tight. It's a miracle I hit those red places the last 3 times. But I did have that sight right on. I've gotten to where I like red dots okay, especially on a firearm like this. And that was pretty nice. I prefer a aim point the way the controls, but this one works good. It's small, works well, and has a nice clear red dot and everything. I just bought that to have it to move around different firearms, the sight. So it doesn't come with the rifle. So anyway, just if you weren't aware that that Ruger was offering another AR556, direct impingement model that's a little bit beyond the standard one they came out with, must have been a couple years ago. Here it is, and it seems like a nice rifle, and it seems to offer a lot of things that people are looking for. Because a lot of people, even if you can get a decent AR that'll serve you well for, $400 or $500, a lot of people do want something next step, at least the next step, if they're not going to 1500. And it starts out a nice heavy barrel. You can see that. It's nitride coated. They brag about in all the promotion for this rifle is having really well cut rifling in this barrel. It's a 1 1/8 twist, by the way, which is pretty popular. Allows you to shoot a variety of weight bullets accurately, supposedly. So the barrel, is not chrome lined. It's I think it's nitride coated and highly polished or whatever. And there's schools of thought on that, different ones. Chrome, I've done some reading on that over the years, and I used to think that, well, if the barrel's not chrome lined, chrome plated, forget it. But that's not necessarily the case. Other treatments are just as good, supposedly. And sometimes people who are into extreme accuracy will say that the chrome lining isn't the best way to get that. So I don't know. You choose what you prefer. But this one is not chrome lined. I'm assuming the chamber is. But it feels good. I like the size of it. Now, you may not want to, as far as what might be negative for you, maybe you don't want an 18-inch barrel. It does make it a little bit longer. It feels really good for me, but 18 inches is longer than the standard. We typically see a lot of the 16-inch barrels these days that we like, but it's a good shooter, and I think they were going for accuracy. That muzzle brake, obviously works. I'm not a big fan of muzzle brakes. That one's not too bad. It doesn't just blast you out of the room or the land, but yet helps some. And so just a sweet shooting rifle. Yeah, it really is. Let me go ahead and take this out too and show you the bolt and everything is supposedly pressure tested, shot peened, and all the stuff that you want to see with a bolt and everything. It doesn't look like it's really, I guess it doesn't take much to keep that gas key on there. Just barely pinched there. But, it's coated and chrome lined inside, and, it's supposed to be done right. So you can check all the specs and see if it meets what you want in an AR-15. It's kind of dry. I don't know, what do y'all think? I often over lube these things. I didn't do that with this one, I know. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Feels a little rough to me. And if that had anything to do with that hang up or not. So there you go. But again, it's the only one we've had. So we'll put them back together, and that is the AR556 MPR, multi-purpose rifle. Okay, and that's, I think, the main distinction in the name. So you're looking for the multiple purpose rifle, the MPR, if you're looking for the one with the 18-inch barrel and everything, the full-length gas system, and the other goodies that it has, that trigger, the Elite 452, whatever, that Ruger makes itself. I guess they make them themselves, but they offer them. That is a nice trigger. So really nice trigger. Apparently a well-made rifle, and in a price that, it's going to be attractive, I guess, to a lot of people. It looks like, this, and we've just been shooting also the Security 9. Ruger's been coming out with a few pretty interesting firearms lately. They're always coming out with a lot of guns. Some of them are appealing, some maybe not so much to some of us. But, these are a couple that pretty interesting, and looks like a lot of thought went into both of those, and really have been getting a lot of input from the market, or studying the market. And really, after they got them put together, designed, we're able to offer them at prices that pretty reasonable, looks to me like, if they work. But time will tell on that, and as I always say, this is just one gun, and it could be out there on the internet we start seeing negative things about it that are real, not fake, or more and more positive things about it, from more people that have had a lot of experience with it too. So anyway, that's kind of our take on it right now, and thought you might be interested in that if you didn't know it was available. It looks like a pretty nice choice. It's one of the most common questions we get yeah, what AR should I buy, or do you think is good for under 1,000 or under 800, and that kind of thing. And so you can get this rascal for in the neighborhood of 700, and we don't discover something like really negative about it here in the months ahead. I'd say it looks like a nice choice, at least something worth taking a good look at. So, and it's from a major company, you know, Ruger. So there you go. The Ruger AR556 multiple purpose rifle. I hope we put it to enough purposes today. Maybe not, but we shot a few different targets, and wanted to get you to take a look at it, or let you take a look at it. I've enjoyed it. It's a nice rifle. Seems to be. Life is good.
Hey Dad, will you throw me another pot? All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just setting up here for another video. Wanted to remind you guys to check out our friends over at SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. They are a fully accredited online distance learning program where you get certified in gunsmithing and get an associate's degree in firearms technology. They also accept GI bills. So check them out over at sdi.edu. And also check out our friends at vaultexsafe.com. You've seen the pistol safes on the main shooting table in some of our videos, so check them out if you need one of those. And also go to hickok45.com, and you can find basically everything that you need to know about us. You can see all of our various supporters over there and stay up to date on our Facebook pages and Twitter, Hickok45 on Facebook, The Real Hickok45 at Instagram. There's also the Hickok45 and Son YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff, and full30.com. We've got videos over there. So just go to hickok45.com, and that's where you can basically find anything else you need to know. And also our store, don't forget that.